Mark?
Evie?
Oh my god!
Yeah, wow, jeez.
I don't want to make anything awkward, but this is so surreal.
Yeah, it is. How are you?
I'm good. You know I'm good. We talked yesterday.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. You've never...
Been 3D before?
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
It is weird. I mean, I never thought your voice was going to be so deep.
Well, I trained for today.
No, seriously, you've got yourself some pipes there. What do you think of mine?
It's alright. 8 out of 10.
Fuck you. So do I look how you thought I'd look?
What do you mean? Like your pictures?
No, not like that. Well, I hope they look like me, but, I mean, people in real life, face to face, they move differently, don't they? They inhabit space. You can tilt them at angles. They, undulate and tick.
Undulate?
Yeah, or compose themselves or whatever.
Are you asking me if you conduct your body the way I thought you would?
Yeah, I guess. Like, you must have imagined the way I would hold myself and slant myself, even if you were just reading.
Well, a little bit. I think you give across some of that when you do the way you talked.
Wrote,
yeah. See, that's why I liked talking to you, because there was a tone there, something like that was communicated, and I saw you a bit.
Well then, is my obviously attractive aura much the same?
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, I'd seen your pictures, I read your voice. The two came together, even on screen, I think. Though you were a bit of an ever-shifting entity kind of thing, like it would change. But I think I always heard you in what you said, yeah.
Well, that's nice to hear. I mean, it's quite easy to really edit the life of what you write to someone.
But it's quite easy to edit the life out of what you speak to. And like I said, the fact that I heard you and saw you in what you said was that made me sort of like to talk to you, I think.
Yeah, but how do you know I didn't just construct myself as something I wasn't? How do you know I wasn't sculpting and making and turning myself into some idea of myself by scouring over every word and rereading and rereading and chopping and changing? You can't have known, really. Maybe I wanted to sound fun or whatever, the same way someone might take 1,000 photos of themselves until they have that one that looks like a magazine cover.
You're right. In that, I can't have known for sure, definitely. I can't have been absolutely dead certain, but I certainly didn't feel that way. I like to think you would have noticed, or I would have noticed on some level. But like I said, I mean, you can apply that to whatever. People do that face to face.
It isn't as easy.
No, I'll give you that, but there's lots of people who do devote a lot of time to it.
See, take that guy over there. You see him?
Where?
There.
Okay, yeah, what about him?
Look at how he holds his arms like he doesn't know what to do with it, or how he keeps pulling down his hat so that it covers every single hair on his head, or the way he fidgets and positions himself.
Maybe he has nits.
I'm not sure that's the kind of reading I was going for, Mark. But still, you see what I mean? I'm not saying we can make, accurate predictions about his home life or his job prospects or his sex life or stuff like that, but without engaging with him in any way, we still make readings about the guy. We think 1,000 things just from clothes or reactions, or the way someone itches, and it's all important. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, but all those subconscious readings, they happen everywhere, in everything, even online.
You don't think physical presence is that important?
No, I do. I just mean, you can pick up those kind of things, or other things, over the phone, your writing or anything.
Would you ever be in a long-distance, non-physical relationship, then?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I just don't know. I think that physical thing is important.
You perv.
No, I don't mean it like that. Like you said, you just get so much from somebody just by being around them, having them be in front of you. But I'm sure there's many occasions where good things have started online, or even good things staying, I guess.
See, I think the sex thing is important too.
You perv.
No, because it's part of the relationship, surely. Tells you a lot about someone. It's another piece. Disregarding all that lust stuff, which can be fun.
You perv.
Which can be fun. I think it does show you more about a person. Whether you're comfortable together, whether it's going to create stress and be a problem. See, I don't think people are bad at sex or good at sex. It's just people having good sex or bad sex. And that doesn't just mean, like, it was short or whatever.
What was short?
Very clever. But, yeah. No, a person isn't good at sex, are they? People get too funny about that, too worried. How can you be good at that? People just work. I don't just mean always in a love way or whatever. But if the situation is good and you're comfortable and you have some sort of link with that person, even if you just think they're really cool, well, I think it would be good.
I see where you're coming from, yeah, but I reckon that there's something to be said for having experience, probably, because, that would make you more comfortable, wouldn't it? I think you're right in that it's given far too much significance and it's not like an attribute or anything that you could rate, but I think experience would make you more comfortable and aware of that kind of stuff.
I suppose so. But it's just subjective, isn't it? I guess what I'm trying to say is people treat, or at least talk about sex like it's porn. And it's not porn.
Yeah, I get what you mean, I think. It's a whole fantasy thing.
They talk about it like it's an advert.
Yeah, but it can be a really quite effective advert, can't it? For what people want to be, I mean. Not just for lingerie or whatever. Have you heard of the Freud thing?
I worry considerably when people bring up Freud things.
Right. Well, apparently, he thought something along the lines of women only being interested in sex for the fantasy of it. Apparently, you're all very passive and you're out of your bodies in a weird way during that kind of thing, and you only enjoy it for yourself imagining it and what you can tell people and how you see yourself doing it.
That is why I worry considerably when people bring up Freud things.
Yeah, well, it's of its time, but I've always found it interesting. I think personally that men are just as obsessed with that too, at least nowadays anyway. But I think that little self-awareness, you can confront it.
Let's hope so anyway. Men and women are inherently different though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm completely different from that guy over there. We're just sort of looking at, Race makes you different, the way you walk makes you different, the way you talk. They're all just generalizations, and they make sense and they're helpful at times, but I wish people would just
have a little more self-awareness.
Yeah. Men and women, and black people and white people, and gay people and straight people, and people with blonde hair, and people with no hair, and people who are sad, or people who are medicated, or just have, their own brain, and just the other people are always going to be different, and we're always going to be able to assume certain things about them, or see them as different, but everyone is different.
People put too much significance on classifications.
Yeah. I mean, I get that to a degree. It's easy to look at the bigger picture that way. With something like mental disorders, it can mean doctors can better prescribe treatments, But I wish people would fully realise, beyond the few people that they've actually met, that everyone's just so different, And they have a million different things you could discriminate against inside of them. It just doesn't have to be a problem. We should take everyone seriously. People are just people.
Everything is everything.
What?
Oh, sorry, it was just this piece of graffiti I saw written on the wall yesterday.
It said, everything is everything.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you take it as a spiritual sign, then? I sure hope you did.
No, I just found it interesting.
I wouldn't mind if you did. That would be interesting, too.
Well, it's been washed down now. I didn't see it on the way over here. It was only on with paint.
How symbolic.
Yeah. It just reminded me of what you were saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sounds a little obvious, though, doesn't it?
I think that was the point.
I guess. It's just a shame, because most people won't read into that, will they?
What's that?
I mean, they won't like how we like... Sorry. I mean, they won't see how we... Like what we were talking about with the whole everything is different and should be taken in its own thing. They'll just think it's some person stating the obvious on a wall.
Maybe. But a few might see it and just, think. I mean, I don't want to sound annoying, but it is stating the obvious in a way, and it's really simple, but we take that for granted, don't you think? It made me stop and think and stop being so funny over what everything is, or what I want it to be, or what people group things together as. It was quite hard-hitting in a weird sort of way. To be reminded that everything is just everything. It is its own thing. That it's either everything that there ever was all at once, or nothing else besides what it is. To yourself, I guess, but I don't know. You got me thinking. Just got me thinking. Did that make a single hint of sense?
Sure. No, yeah, it got pretty existential, but in a healthy way, I thought.
Well, that's relieving.
Geez, we really went to town on the conversation subject for this first meet.
Yeah, I surprised myself, quite frankly.
I mean, there was philosophy, gender, sex, and kudos to us.
Yeah.
So, why'd you pick this place?
Well, it was close to both of us, and this was the park we got taken to on school trips.
What rubbish trips you guys must have had.
Yeah, well, they were nice, but it was here we got given our pen pals in that scheme of theirs, so I thought it was incredibly fitting.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, I'd honestly forgotten about that scheme.
I know, it was such a long time ago.
We were in year 2, so what, 6, 7?
Yeah, I think I was 6. I remember getting handed our reply letters in that patch of grass over there, but there were more flowers and it was summer, and the envelope you'd sent me had gold star stickers all over it.
Yeah, that was my mum.
Well, your mum made the rest of the kids in my class jealous.
You did a self-portrait kind of thing of mine, if I remember correctly.
Oh god, yeah. I was obsessed with drawing myself back then.
Well, I think you got it pretty spot on. I mean, it was nice to receive. I wonder if any of those other kids stayed in touch with their pen pals.
I don't think so. I mean, they didn't get gold star stickers on their envelopes.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Isn't it funny, though, that we stayed in touch? That we've even met? That we're sitting here today in this park after so much has happened and we're both 3D and we're inhabiting space. In this park where 15 years ago I sat as a child and drew a highly flattering picture of myself on coloured sugar paper. And I remember I stared up at the sky, and even though it was lunchtime, the moon was still out behind the blue. And I thought I saw the entire ozone layer dome over into the distances and horizons. And I realised then that the stars didn't go away when the sun comes out. And my God, looking at you here now in front of me, moving and blinking and making noise. You know, Mark, I don't think I've ever felt so small and yet so huge, to see you living and breathing and moving here like all others must be doing, as everyone has. Can you remember when we talked that one time, 10 years ago? About all people and all the things in the world.
Yeah.
And it was nothing to me. It was really nothing to me. All these people and all these things were really little more than nothing to me.
You were young.
I was scared and insecure, and the world was really nothing to me, and you said it was everything, and there was nothing else but everything, and that one day we'd meet and you'd convince me of it.
Yeah, I was young too.
I'm convinced.
Was I really that persuasive?
Just you sitting there, moving, being, doing, having done, fidgeting and breathing, and having walked here down the concrete path and through the crowds in town to sit here and blink and talk and laugh. Jeez, God, am I being weird?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry, this is very surreal.
Don't apologise. No, don't apologise at all, it's fine. It's amazing to see you be and live too, in front of me, all stretched out and angled and...
Undulating?
Yeah, undulating as you are. It's wonderful.
Do you want to move from here? It's pretty cold. I could do with eating something. From what I remember, there's a really nice old sandwich place around here.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I guess we can continue to talk nonsense as well as eat.
I'm sure we'll find a way to multitask.
To eat and to undulate.
Lead the way.